Hey everyone, my name's Mark, and I just want to take you back to my childhood of this franchise known as Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers was my favorite thing in my life for a long time, and I mean a long time. And I still to this day love Mario and Luigi so much, and they were just great. I mean, there were so many things. They had so many video games. Even by the time I was only about 9 years old, Luigi got his first game. I mean, I guess he had a game before that, but we'll talk about that later. Um, but this was his first, like, really popular game called Luigi's Mansion, and I just was blown away. I remember even being at my cousin's house, which was about at the time 4 hours away. And keep in mind, this was before YouTube, so you couldn't necessarily just look up videos nearly as easily as you can now. And he was playing Luigi's Mansion, and then all of a sudden he is about to go fight King Boo, and then my dad's like, "Okay, we gotta go." I was like, "Can we please wait?" And he's like, "No, we really gotta go." We had something going on, and so I remember being in the car. I was like, "I have to know what happens with Mario and Luigi. I just have to," and so I couldn't find out. It wasn't until I think at least a year later that um, I played it with one of my childhood friends, and then we played it together, and then uh, we beat King Boo, and that was just amazing. But there's this one thing I remember loving as a kid, but now it's just terrible when you think about it. It's called Super Mario Brothers, and yes, I know that's the same name, but it doesn't have the same connotation because it's a live action movie. And let's just be real, I don't care how good effects are today with how convincing CGI is. Mario and Luigi do not belong in live action. It just they don't. I mean, I don't mind if they use CGI, but it has to the whole thing has to be animated if they're using CGI. But the thing is, that movie sucks. But unlike most people, I'm going to actually talk about other stuff because everybody knows why that movie sucks so much. But honestly, even though it does suck, there's some things about it that are pretty hilarious just because, I mean, obviously, the two people that directed that movie just did a terrible job. But I can really tell some of the actors were really trying to have fun with it, kind of like Jack Black from Neverending Story 3. He just really had a lot of fun with it because he was like, this movie sucks. I'm going to be so over the top. Just because, I mean, the story just doesn't make any sense compared to the video game. And it's just hilarious because Bob Hoskins just says some really funny lines. And I've heard rumors that he was drunk the whole time. I don't know if that's true, but either way, just I think it's funny the way he reacts with some of his lines, like, and same thing with Luigi. Like, Luigi would be like, "No, I'm just a plumber's apprentice" when they're getting arrested, and then Bob Hoskins is being like, "Wow, I can't." Instead of saying, "I can't believe I'm getting arrested," he was like, "Are you telling me you're getting arrested for being a plumber?" It was just it's hilarious, like because he really brought effort to that role. Which I mean, even though that movie sucks, it's just hilarious. And there's another part where he's like, "Oh wait, what's over there? Oh yeah, that I see what's over there. We should just go die there." And also, there are just some really weird lines in that movie that are just so terrible. It just makes me laugh thinking about it. Like oh my gosh, the guy Dennis Hopper plays is supposed to be like Bowser, but call him Koopa. Like they don't even call him King Koopa like they did in the few animated series. So I thought that was weird, and he looks nothing like the character. Anyway, but he'll just say some really goofy lines like "See you later, alligator." And you know what I love about mud? It's dirty and it's clean at the same time. I mean, just and like Luigi would act so weird, like because keep in mind, like they look nothing like the characters. Like, um, Bob Hoskins is British and John Leguizamo is Latino, so they look. And the most frustrating part was that they didn't even give Luigi like a trash stash or literally a fake mustache or anything. That I think that's what one of the things that drove me the most nuts. Just because Luigi has always been my favorite, other than Spider-Man. Oh, we'll get to him in future videos because yeah, he's even more important. But other than him, Luigi is is my jam. Like he just I love the character, but he didn't have a mustache. Oh, that drove me nuts. And but he would just say things like, um, Mario would be like, "Why is the truck doing this?" And then Luigi will be like, "Relax, it's been making that sound all week." And it's like that's so dumb to do. I mean, to say, but it's just hilarious. And yeah, the only thing I really liked about it though was the fact that it did give Luigi a love interest. Because before that, I know for sure that Daisy had been in, um, what's that movie, in Super Mario Land, but that was also not made. I don't. Miyamoto didn't necessarily not like it, but he wasn't involved in any way, like not even as a producer. So it was definitely, even though it kept the same idea, it used a different princess. I know she was in NES Open Tournament or whatever that golf game is. She was Luigi's caddy, but I don't know if that was before or after this movie because this movie came out in 1993. But I do remember the first time I watched it. For some reason, it was like on Disney Channel, and I think it's because the company that distributed the movie was Buena Vista Entertainment, which I think back then they were owned by Disney, or that was just like another branding for Disney. But I just remember I was like, "What the heck?" Like it, like because remember all those Disney Channel original movies? They'd be like, "Ooh, this is coming up next," and then all of a sudden I see these two actors that are like dressed in Mario and Luigi stuff, and it says Super Mario Brothers coming up next. I was like, what the heck? And but one thing I will give credit for is those costumes do look pretty cool. Just a very modernized take and realistic take on what they wore. It is funny how they just wear them. It's kind of out of nowhere, but I mean, it's a movie. I just, uh, yeah, that movie just it sucks so much, but there's so many things about it that are hilarious. But back to what I was saying about the love interest, it did bring Luigi's love interest instead of just being side interest for Mario, because at that point he had like Peach, he had Pauline from the Donkey Kong game, and then he had Daisy. I think Nintendo's like, okay, this isn't fair that Luigi's not getting any attention, so they gave that to him, and I thought that was really cool always. But I just thought I'd do something different because so many people talk about how it's inaccurate, and we all know that. I mean, even the super most casual gamers know that it's not anything like the game. But I just think it's funny because like I've read what things have said in those old Nintendo Power magazines, and they admit like even a month before the movie came out that it's like nothing like the game. So I just think that's really funny. But I just thought I'd bring back some of my nostalgia and how I felt about that movie. Because I even remember at one point I was telling my dad, I was like, oh, they have this backwards. Luigi is supposed to be the scaredy cat, not Mario. But yeah, so it was just so funny how dumb that movie was, but how hilarious it was at the same time. I thought I'd just share my experience with it instead of only trashing it on it. So thanks so much for watching.